The torpedo is 3 miles out when I realize we're all about to die. My name is Captain Cole Harris. It's November 18th, 2043, and I've got maybe 90 seconds before 1,000 pounds of Chinese high explosive turns the USS Farragut into scrap metal and body parts. But that comes later. Let me back up. Let me tell you how we got here. 43 miles off the California coast, fighting a war that nobody thought would actually happen. 4 hours ago, the Pacific was quiet. I was standing on the bridge with a mug of coffee that tasted like battery acid, watching the stars, thinking about my daughter. 14 years old. Lives with her mother in Portland. Last time we talked, she asked when I was coming home. I told her soon. That was 6 days ago. 6 days since I heard her voice. 6 days wondering if Portland is even still there. The war started 3 weeks back. Official declarations, presidential addresses, all that formal crap. But wars don't start with paperwork. They start with fire. They start with the Ronald Reagan going down in a ball of flame off Guam, 4,000 sailors vaporized by a hypersonic missile we never saw on radar. They start with Pearl Harbor getting hit again, second time in 100 years. They start with you realizing that everything solid in your world just turned to smoke. China and Russia, coordinated, 7 time zones. Simultaneous strikes that carved through our Pacific defenses like we were made of paper. We had watched them running exercises for months. Intelligence kept saying it was theater, posturing, another round of flex your muscles and back down. Turns out, we were the show. They were writing the script, and we were too stupid to read it. So here we are, what's left of Carrier Strike Group 9, spread across 60 miles of black ocean, trying to protect the California coast with 5 destroyers, 3 cruisers, and hope that's running real thin. The Reagan is gone. Now we're screening for the Abraham Lincoln, 80 miles south, carrying what's left of her air wing. 42 birds. Not nearly enough. My destroyer, the Farragut, is an Arleigh Burke class. Good ship, solid crew, 400 souls depending on me to make the right calls. The kind of responsibility that sits in your chest like a stone. Lieutenant Commander Sarah Chen is a tactical, face painted blue by the displays. Chief Warrant Officer Ramirez is checking weapon systems again, 3rd time his watch. Petty Officer Dixon has sonar headphones clamped so tight I can see red marks on his skin. We've been at general quarters for 6 hours. 6 hours of staring at empty radar screens and drinking coffee that could strip paint. The crew is exhausted, I'm exhausted, but nobody sleeps. Not after what happened. Not when you know they're out there hunting. 0347 hours. The water against the hull sounds almost peaceful, rhythmic. My uncle had a fishing boat in San Diego when I was a kid. That sound used to put me to sleep. Now it's just noise between heartbeats, between waiting for something to go wrong. Chen's voice cuts clean through the quiet. Pacific Fleet Command, updated ThreatCon. I turn from the viewport. ThreatCon Charlie, immediate. Submarine activity reported 300 miles northwest. Possible hostile surface action group moving south from Alaska. Air patrols getting radar contacts that vanish before they can identify. ThreatCon Charlie. That means hostile action, imminent or already happening. That means we've graduated from watching to being targets. Acknowledged. Alert the task force. Weapons free on my authorization only. Every radar system goes hot, cross-link everything. I want to know if a damned seagull changes direction. Chen nods. Almost smiled. Almost. Aye, Captain. I look back at the ocean. Nothing but darkness, and the certainty that something bad is coming. You got feelings sometimes. Pressure in the air. Like the sky's holding its breath before a storm. Seaman Alvarez appears with coffee, 20 years old, trying to look calm, failing. Thanks, Alvarez. Sir, any word on when we rotate off station? The question under the question. When do we get out of the kill zone? When do we go home? When does this nightmare end? I look at him square. When they send relief. Could be tomorrow, could be next week. We hold until then. Aye, sir. He walks away. I'm alone again with the coffee and the dark and 400 lives riding on whatever happens next. The radar's clean. Sonar is quiet.
that feeling won't go away. Something's wrong. Something's coming. I think about Emma again. I wonder if she's sleeping. I wonder if she's scared. I wonder if I'll ever see her again.
0411 hours. That's when it starts. Captain, sonar. Dixon's voice stays level, but there's something underneath. Contact. Bearing 270. Range 60 miles. Submerged. Designate Sierra 1. I'm at his station in 3 steps. The screen shows a faint return, a ghost moving through deep water. Classification. Still working it, sir. Acoustic signature suggests possibly kilo-class diesel-electric. Profile's off, though. Could be one of the newer Chinese Type 039 boats. 60 miles. Well inside torpedo range if it's packing long-range weapons. If it's Chinese, it is. Alert the Lincoln. Coordinate with Princeton and Shiloh. Active sonar. Ping that contact every 30 seconds. Get me a firing solution, but hold weapons. Could be friendly. Aye, sir. It's not friendly. We know where our subs are. This isn't one of them. But procedure matters, even when your gut is screaming. Chen is already on comms talking to the cruisers, Princeton and Shiloh to our north. They'll triangulate, pin down exact position in heading. Sir, Sierra 1 changing course, now bearing 255, speed increasing, 12 knots, depth 400 feet. 12 knots for a diesel boat. Fast. Too fast if you're trying to stay quiet. Which means it doesn't care if we hear it or it's closing distance before going silent again. Time to weapons range. Dixon calculates. Current course and speed, 32 minutes to effective torpedo range. Less if it's carrying long-range wake homers. 32 minutes until we're in the kill box. I grab the comms. TAO Captain. Set condition 1 throughout the ship, not a drill. All hands to battle stations, spin up the ACE rock systems, fish in the tubes, ready to swim. The 1MC speaker crackles ship-wide. General quarters, all hands man your battle stations. This is not a drill. Organized chaos, hatches slam, boots hammer on ladders, damage control teams scramble, the Farragut transforms from cruising ship to weapon system. Chen reappears. Lincoln has the contact. They're launching a Romeo helo for ASW prosecution. 18 minutes to target area. Romeo, SH-60 Seahawk, configured for submarine hunting. Sonobuoys, mad gear, couple torpedoes. Good platform. Also a flying bullseye if there's surface or air threats around. Copy. Maintain track on Sierra 1. Any aspect or depth change, I want it immediately. Aye, sir. I move to the center of the bridge, where I can see tactical display and horizon, both. The sky's getting lighter in the east. Dawn maybe 90 minutes out. I'd rather do this in daylight. We don't get to choose. Captain, sonar. New contact. Designate CR2. Bearing 330. Range 70 miles. Similar signature to CR1. Submerged. Depth unknown. 2 submarines. My stomach knot. Classification? Working it, sir. Preliminary suggests another diesel boat. Possibly same class. 2 submarines. Different bearings. Converging on us. This isn't patrol. This is coordinated attack. Alert the task force. Multiple subsurface contact clothing our position. Weapons free on my command. Get Lincoln's helos airborne now. Every ASW asset we have prosecutes these contacts. Chen's fingers fly. Lincoln confirms. Launching second Romeo. Mobile Day is moving to intercept Sierra 2. Mobile Day. Ticonderoga-class cruiser, bristling with weapons. One of the best ASW platforms in the fleet. If anyone nails Sierra 2, it's them. But I'm focused on Sierra 1. 60 miles and closing. 28 minutes to weapons range. Sonar, Captain, go active. Full power. Hard trek on Sierra 1. Aye, sir. Going active. The sonar pulse hammers from our hull. Focused beam of sound. Powerful enough to light up everything within 100 miles. Like flipping on a spotlight in a dark room. You see everything. Everything sees you too. Return comes back fast. Sierra 1 confirmed. Range 58 miles. Bearing 253. Depth 420 feet. Speed 14 knots. Contact maneuvering. Turning toward us, sir. Aspect change indicates attack profile. Attack profile. Coming for us.
Lock Ace Rock on Sierra 1. Prepare to fire on my command. The anti-submarine rocket system spools up. Rocket carries a torpedo, launches from our vertical cells, flies the target area, drops the fish in the water, and lets the rest do its thing. Effective range, about 15 miles. We're not there yet. Captain, Sierra 2 also turning toward task force. Speed increasing, 15 knots. Mobile Bay has firing solution requesting weapons free.
Astera Tactical. 2 submarines, both accelerating, both on attack profiles. This is it. The moment you train for, prepare for, pray never comes. Here it is. I pick up command net. All units, Farragut actual. Weapons free. I say again, weapons free. Engage hostile subsurface contacts, all available ASW systems. Execute! 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 Radio crackles with confirmations. Mobile Bay fires first. Whoosh of their ASRock launch cuts across the water even from here. Supersonic scream. Then Princeton fires. 2 rockets trailing fire, arcing toward ocean 20 miles away. Captain, Sierra 1 is launching! Torpedo in the water, bearing 255, range 55 miles! My blood goes cold. Classification? Analyzing. Possible Type 53 Waycomber. Speed 50 knots approximately. Time to impact, 8 minutes. 8 minutes before a Chinese torpedo, 1,000-pound warhead, reaches us. Launch ASRock full spread. 3 fish in the water on that bastard. Helm, come right to 030. Ahead flank. Deploy noisemakers, evasive pattern Delta 4. Farragut heels hard as the helmsman throws the rudder. Deck tilts. From below, the launch sequence for ASRock. 3 rockets, one after another, punching from vertical launch cells with enough force to rattle your teeth. They streak away into darkness, orange flames against black sky, then curve down toward water miles distant. Noisemakers deployed. Torpedo bearing 258, range 48 miles. Time to impact 6 minutes, 30 seconds. Dixon's voice stays mechanical, his hands shake working the console. 6.5 minutes. We're running Flint speed, 32 knots, throwing acoustic decoys that mimic our sound signature, trying to make the torpedo chase ghosts instead of us. But modern torpedoes are smart. They listen, calculate, adapt. Captain, Lincoln reports the Sierra 2 also launched multiple torpedoes in the water. Count 3, possibly 4 weapons. Mobile Bay evading. Tactical displays a nightmare. Red symbols for hostile torpedoes, blue for ours. Everyone maneuvering, everyone running, everyone trying to kill or avoid being killed. Status ASRock? Fish 1 and 2 in water going active. Fish 3 malfunction, didn't deploy. Fish 1 acquired Sierra 1 tracking. Fish 2 searching. 1 torpedo hunting the submarine. 1 chance to kill it before its weapon reaches us. Time to impact hostile torpedo. 4 minutes, 20 seconds. Weapon tracking, ignoring the noisemaker, sir. It's got us. Of course it does. 4 minutes, 240 seconds. I feel each one like a hammer. Set condition zebra throughout the ship. Seal all watertight doors. All hands brace for impact. I pause, look around the bridge. Young faces, scared faces, determined faces. This is what we trained for. Do your jobs, trust your training, we'll get through this. I don't know if I believe it. I need to hear it. Captain, our Fish 1, contact! Explosion, bearing 252, range 42 miles. Assess hit on Sierra 1. Small victory, maybe. If we killed the sub, its torpedo might still run. They don't just stop because Mama dies. Confirmed kill Sierra 1, active sonar confirmation. Sonar active. Contact Sierra 1 breaking up, sir. Multiple small contacts. Debris field. Assess Sierra 1 destroyed. Chen allows herself a tight smile. 1 down. The torpedo's still coming. Hostile weapon bearing 260, range 22 miles. Time to impact 2 minutes, 40 seconds. I hear my own breathing. Bridge silent except electronics hum and water rush outside. Everyone braced, holding something, waiting for the hammer. Weapon turning, chasing the noisemakers, range opening. Collective exhale. Torpedo bought the deception. Chasing a ghost while we run opposite direction. Time until it realizes. Unknown, sir. Modern seekers can reacquire. Estimate 30 to 45 seconds before search mode again. 30 seconds of borrowed time. Maintain course and speed. Keep tracking that weapon. Moment it turns back toward us, I want to know. I watch sonar display. Torpedo symbol moves away from us, chasing false target. 20 seconds. 30. Weapon lost the noisemaker. Going search mode. Turning. Captain, it's reacquiring. Weapon turning back toward us. Out of tricks, out of noisemakers, out of time. Brace for impact. All hands brace for impact. I grip the railing, wait for the end. 10 seconds. 5. The explosion comes, but not what I expected. Not under us. Distant. Muffled thud through water, maybe a mile away. Report. Dixon stares at his screen like he can't process what he's seeing. Sir, the weapon. It just detonated. Range 0.8 miles. I think it hit the Lincoln's Romeo Halo. The helicopter. ASW Helo that launched 18 minutes ago to prosecute Sierra 1 must have been low, dipping sonar, right in the torpedo's path. The Omwork acquired it, thought it was us, killed it instead. 4 men who just saved our lives without knowing it. Confirm Helo splash, search and rescue? Chen checks displays, face pale. Negative, Captain. No beacons, no radio contact. Assess total loss. I close my eyes. 4 more names for the list. 4 more families getting visits from men in dress uniforms. But we're alive. Captain, update from Mobile Bay. They evaded 2 torpedoes. 3rd hit their stern, reporting flooding, loss of power AV systems, taking on water, requesting assistance. I look at tactical. Mobile Bay, 40 miles north. We're the closest unit. But Sierra 2 still out there. Could be more submarines we haven't detected. Jen, get every available pump and damage control team on a helo. I want them on Mobile Bay in 15 minutes. Coordinate with LinkedIn for air transport. Aye, sir. I turn back to ocean. Sky lighter now. Gray line on the eastern horizon. Dawn coming. I have a feeling this is going to be the longest day of my life. Somewhere out there in the Black Pacific, more enemies are awaiting.
The Mobile Bay is dying. I can hear it over the radio. Commander Patricia Vance, her voice tight with controlled panic, rattling off damage reports that sound like a death sentence. Flooding in 3 compartments. Main propulsion offline. Starboard list at 12 degrees and increasing. She's got 600 crew aboard a ship that's taking on water faster than the pumps can handle. We're racing north at flank speed, the Farragut cutting through the Pacific like a knife. But 40 miles might as well be 400. By the time we get there, the Mobile Bay could be on the bottom with all hands. It's 0512 hours. Dawn is breaking over the eastern horizon, painting the sky in shades of red and orange that would look beautiful if they didn't look so much like fire. The ocean is turning from black to gray, and I can finally see the other ships in our task force. The Princeton to our northwest, the Shiloh to our east, both screening for threats while we make this run. Chen is coordinating the rescue effort with the Lincoln. 2 helos are already airborne with damage control teams and portable pumps. Another is warming up on deck with medical personnel. It's not enough. It's never enough. Captain, sonar! Dixon again, and I can tell from his voice this isn't good news. New contact. Designate Sierra 3. Bearing 095, range 42 miles. Submerged. Preliminary classification suggests nuclear boat. Possible type 093 attack submarine. A nuclear submarine. Fast. Quiet. The diesel boats were bad enough. This is worse. Depth and speed. Depth approximately 500 feet. Speed 18 knots, sir, and accelerating. 18 knots. A nuke boat running that fast doesn't care about being quiet. It's either running from something or running towards something. Given our current situation, I'm betting it's the latter. Alert the task force, designate Sierra 3 as high priority threat, get me a firing solution. Chen, how long until those helos reach the Mobile Bay? First bird touches down in 6 minutes, Captain. 6 minutes. Sierra 3 is 42 miles out, running at 18 knots.
Call it 25 minutes before its ineffective torpedo range. Maybe less if it's got the long-range stuff. I do the math in my head. The Mobile Bay is wounded, dead in the water. And now there's a Chinese nuclear submarine bearing down on our position. We can either continue toward the Mobile Bay and risk getting caught in a turkey shoot, or we can break off and engage Sierra 3 while leaving Vance and her crew to their fate. Some choice. Maintain course. Sierra 3 becomes someone else's problem until we've got survivors off the Mobile Bay. Chen, get the Shiloh on that contact. They've got the angle for an intercept. Aye, sir. The radio crackles. It's Vance again. Any U.S. Navy vessel, this is Mobile Bay. List is now 15 degrees. We've lost containment on the aft magazine. Recommend all ships maintain minimum safe distance. We're attempting to stabilize, but she breaks. Just for a second. We may need to give the order to abandon ship. Abandon ship. 600 sailors in the water, middle of the Pacific with hostile submarines prowling the depths. The survival rate would be catastrophic. Mobile Bay, this is Farragut Actual. We're 28 miles out and closing fast. Helos inbound with pumps and DC teams. Stay with the ship, Commander. We're coming for you. Copy, Farragut. Appreciated, Captain. We'll hold as long as we can. I grip the railing and watch the ocean scroll past. The sun is higher now, burning off the morning fog, and I can see the swells clearly. 8 to 10 feet. Wind out of the northwest at 15 knots. Conditions are decent for a rescue operation. Small mercy.
Captain, the Shiloh has engaged Sierra 3 with Ace Rock. 2 weapons in the water. I watched the tactical display. 2 blue symbols tracking toward the red one. The range closes. 20 miles, 15, 10. Sonar report, splash on both weapons. Fish are running hot, straight, and normal. Time to target, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I count them down in my head, watching the symbols converge on the display. The entire bridge is silent. Everyone focused on those 2 blue dots racing toward the red one. Captain, Sierra 3 is evading, turning hard to port, launching countermeasures. Our weapons are... Weapon 1 has lost contact. Weapon 2 still tracking. 1 torpedo left. 1 chance. Come on, I mutter. Come on. Weapon 2 is... Contact. Explosion bearing 093, range 38 miles. Assess hit on Sierra 3. The bridge erupts in muted celebration. Fist bumps, quick smiles. But I'm watching the sonar display, waiting for confirmation. Sonar, confirm kill on Sierra 3. Dixon studies his screen, adjusting filters, cross-referencing acoustic data. Sir, I'm getting multiple contacts from the explosion area. Debris field consistent with submarine breakup, but there's something else. Another contact bearing 097, range 36 miles, depth 400 feet, speed 22 knots. Sir, it's accelerating away from the explosion. My stomach drops. Classification? Unknown, sir. Acoustic signature is similar to Sierra 3, but... Sir, I think Sierra 3 was running a towed decoy. We may have hit the decoy, not the boat. A decoy. A sophisticated acoustic simulator towed behind the submarine designed to mimic its sound signature and draw torpedoes away from the real target. The Chinese have been using them for years. We just fell for it. Where's the real Sierra 3? If this new contact is Sierra 3 bearing 097, range 36 miles, depth 400 feet, speed 22 knots, sir, it's closing on the Mobile Bay. I look at the tactical display. The Mobile Bay is 18 miles ahead of us. Sierra 3 is 36 miles away, but running faster than we are. The map is ugly. Time to intercept? Chen runs the numbers at grid speeds. Sierra 3 reaches the Mobile Bay before we do. Estimate 12 minutes. 12 minutes before a Chinese nuclear submarine blows torpedoes into a crippled American cruiser. Get the Princeton on an intercept course. Fire another Ace Rock spread from the Shiloh. I want everything we have on that submarine.
Hi, Captain. The radio crackles again. It's the helo pilot from the first rescue bird. Any station? This is Rescue 7. We're overhead the mobile bay. Visibility is good. Ship is listing heavily to starboard. I can see crew on deck preparing life rafts. Request clearance to begin winch operations. I key the mic. Rescue 7, Farragut Actual. You are cleared for rescue operations. Be advised, hostile submarine inbound to your position. Estimate 12 minutes to effective weapons range. Work fast. Copy, Farragut. Beginning operations now. I can picture it. The helo hovering over the stricken cruiser, rotor wash whipping the sea into foam, the rescue swimmer going down on the winch cable to coordinate the evacuation, men and women being lifted one by one from the tilting deck while a Chinese submarine races toward them through the deep. Captain, Princeton reports firing solution on Sierra 3 engaging with Ace Rock. Another spread of torpedoes, more blue symbols on the display, chasing the red one. But Sierra 3 isn't playing games anymore. It's running straight and fast, ignoring the threats, focused on its target. Shiloh is also engaging, 4 weapons in the water. 6 torpedoes total, all chasing one submarine. The ocean between here and the mobile bay is about to become a killing field. Time to impact on our weapons. First weapons reach target area in 90 seconds.
I watch the display. The symbols converge, the range closes. Sierra 3 maintains course and speed, either incredibly brave or incredibly stupid. Weapons splashing now, Fisher running. Captain, Sierra 3 is launching. Multiple torpedoes in the water. Count as 4, possibly 5 weapons. All appear targeted on the mobile bay. 5 torpedoes. The mobile bay can't maneuver, can't evade, can't do anything but sit there and take it. And there's a helo hovering right over her deck with a rescue swimmer in the water. Mobile bay, Farragut Actual. Torpedoes inbound to your position. Estimate time to impact, 3 minutes. Recommend immediate evacuation of all personnel. Vance's voice comes back, steady despite everything. Copy, Farragut. All hands, abandon ship. I say again, abandon ship. This is not a drill. Over the radio, I hear the one MC on the mobile bay echoing the order. 600 people scrambling for life rafts for the helo for anything that will get them off the ship before the torpedoes arrive. Rescue 7, get your people out of there, now. Working at Farragut, we've got 3 personnel on the winch, pulling them up now. 3 people? 3 out of 600. Our weapons on Sierra 3 are contact. Multiple explosions bearing 096, range 32 miles. Confirmed kill on Sierra 3? Dixon shakes his head. Negative confirmation, sir. Sonar is cluttered with explosion debris and countermeasures. I can't get a clean return. But the contact has... It's gone, sir. I've lost Sierra 3 on sonar. Lost it. Could be dead. Could be hiding in the acoustic shadow of our own weapons. No way to know. But those torpedoes are still running. Time to impact on the mobile bay. 2 minutes, 10 seconds. I pick up the handset, switch to the task force net. All units, this is Farragut Actual. Brace for multiple impacts on the mobile bay. Rescue operations are to continue as long as safely possible. Search and rescue posture for all remaining units. The bridge is silent. Everyone watching the tactical display, watching those red symbols track toward the blue one that represents the mobile day, watching 600 lives hang in the balance. 1 minute to impact. Over the radio, I hear chaos on the mobile bay. Shouting, alarms, the sound of people running. Vance's voice cuts through it all. All remaining personnel, get off this ship. Go, go, go. 30 seconds. I close my eyes. Countdown. 25. 15. The explosions, when they come, are audible even from 18 miles away. A series of deep, rolling booms that travel through the water and into the hull of the Farragut. I feel them in my chest, in my bones. I open my eyes and look at the tactical display. The symbol for the mobile bay flashes red, then starts to fade. Report from Rescue 7. The mobile bay has been hit. Multiple impacts along the hull. Ship is
Jesus, she's rolling. She's going over. Jen's hand goes to her mouth. Ramirez crosses himself. Dixon just stares at his screen. Rescue 7, get your people out of there. Now. Working at Farragut. We've got 3 personnel on the winch. Pulling them up now. 3 people. 3 out of 600. The mobile bay is gone. A Ticonderoga-class cruiser. 10,000 tons, 450 feet long, bristling with weapon systems. Gone in less than a minute. And with her, hundreds of sailors.
I turn to Chen. Get every available helo airborne. SAR operations are now priority 1. Strip the task force if you have to. I want every aircraft we have picking up survivors. Aye, Captain. The Farragut surges forward, engines at maximum output, racing toward the disaster area. The ocean ahead is churning, debris fields spreading, life rafts bobbing in the swells. And somewhere below, the mobile bay is sinking into the dark, taking God knows how many people with her. Captain, sonar, new contact, multiple new contacts. Bearing 130, range 60 miles. Surface contacts, count is 12, possibly 15 ships. Designate as Surface Action Group Alpha. I spin around. Classification. Working it, sir. Based on radar cross-section and formation, assess hostile surface combatants. Possible Type 055 destroyers, Type 052 destroyers, and supporting vessels. Speed 25 knots, heading directly toward us. 15 ships. A full Chinese surface action group bearing down on our position. And we just lost one of our cruisers. The tactical situation just went from bad to catastrophic. Alert the Lincoln. We've got major surface contacts inbound. Weapons free on all hostile surface units. Chen, get me a firing solution with Tomahawks. I want every missile we've got ready to fly. The Farragut carries 96 vertical launch cells, loaded with a mix of Tomahawk cruise missiles, SM-2 and SM-6 surface-to-air missiles, and ACE-Rock anti-submarine rockets. Against 15 enemy ships, it might not be enough. Captain, the Lincoln is launching aircraft. Strike package inbound to Surface Action Group Alpha. ETA to target, 28 minutes. 28 minutes. The Surface Action Group will be at effective missile range in 40 minutes. Our aircraft will get there first, but not by much. I look at the tactical display. We're spread thin. The mobile bay is gone. We've got survivors in the water, enemy submarines prowling the depths, and now a major surface force bearing down on us. This is what a losing battle looks like. Rescue 7 reports they've recovered 32 survivors so far. Life rafts are scattered over a 2-mile area. They're requesting additional helos. Tell them help is on the way. Keep working. I move to the viewport and stare at the ocean ahead. I can see the debris field now. Dark spots on the water that could be rafts, could be wreckage, could be bodies. The Farragut is close enough that I can make out individual pieces of flotsam floating past. A life jacket, piece of hull plating, a sailor's cap. 600 people were on that ship. How many made it off? How many are still trapped inside as it sinks? How many are already dead? Captain, update from Rescue 7. They spotted Commander Vance. She's in a life raft with approximately 40 other personnel. Helo is moving to pick them up now. Vance made it. At least there's that. Acknowledged. Get her aboard and back to the Lincoln. She'll need medical attention. I watch the helo work. It hovers over a cluster of life rafts. Rescue swimmer in the water. Winch cable going up and down. One by one, survivors are lifted from the sea. It's agonizingly slow. We need to move faster. Captain, Surface Action Group Alpha is at 55 miles and closing. They've altered course, now heading 220, direct intercept on our position.
They know where we are. Probably have us on radar. Probably planning their attack right now. Time to their effective missile range? At current closure rate, 35 minutes. But sir, if they're carrying YJ-18 anti-ship missiles, effective range is over 300 miles. They could engage us anytime.
Anytime? We could have missiles inbound right now and not know it until they're 10 miles out and going Mach 3. Launch the Scan Eagle. I want eyes on that surface group. Confirm composition and weapons posture. The Scan Eagle is a small reconnaissance drone launched from a pneumatic catapult on our stern. It'll give us real-time video of the enemy formation. Know your enemy before you fight him. Launching Scan Eagle now, Captain. I hear the thump of the catapult, feel the slight vibration through the deck. The drone is airborne, climbing toward its operational altitude, heading southeast toward the Chinese fleet. Rescue operations update. We've now recovered 78 survivors. Estimate 200 plus still in the water. Additional helos are arriving on station. 200 in the water. Out of 600. That means 400 are gone. Dead in the explosion, trapped in the sinking ship, drowned in the minutes after. 400 families. Destroyed. I think about writing the letters. Dear Mrs. Johnson, I regret to inform you that your husband died serving his country. He was a good sailor, a dedicated officer, and he will be missed. 400 letters? How do you write 400 letters? Captain, Scan Eagle is on station, feeding video now. Chen brings up the feed on the main display. Grainy aerial footage resolves into the Chinese Surface Action Group. I count the ships. 12 visible. All modern. All heavily armed. 4 Type 055 cruisers. The largest and most powerful surface combatants in the Chinese Navy. 6 Type 052D destroyers. 2 Type 054A frigates bringing up the rear. They're in a standard offensive formation. The cruisers up front, ready to launch the first salvo. Destroyers in supporting positions. Frigates protecting the flanks. This is a task force designed for one purpose: killing American ships. Assess weapons loadout on the Type 055s. Chen studies the imagery. Standard loadout would be 112 vertical launch cells per ship. Mix of surface-to-air, anti-ship, and land attack missiles. Total throw weight for 4 ships, approximately 450 missiles. Sir, if they launch everything at once, she doesn't need to finish. 450 missiles against our task force would be overwhelming. Even with the Lincoln's fighters and our defensive systems, most would get through. Tell them to hit the Type 055s first. Kill the cruisers and the rest might break off. Aye, sir. I turn back to the rescue operations. More helos now, 5 of them working the debris field, winching up survivors, shuttling them to the Lincoln or to the other ships in the task force. The water is full of life rafts, orange dots against the gray Pacific. And underneath, the mobile bay continues its descent to the bottom, 3,000 feet down. Captain, we've got a problem. Dixon's voice has an edge I haven't heard before. Sonar contact, multiple new subsurface contacts, bearing 145, range 30 miles. Count is 4, possibly 5 submarines, all submerged. Designate Sierra 4 through Sierra 8. 5 more submarines, on top of everything else. Classification? Unknown, sir. They're running quiet, barely picking them up. Depth suggests diesel electrics could be Type 039s. They're spreading out, forming a picket line across our southern approach. A submarine picket line between us and the Lincoln. Between us and any hope of support. Alert the task force. Prosecute all contacts with available ASW assets. Priority on maintaining a clear corridor to the Lincoln. Aye, sir. The tactical display is a nightmare now. Submarines to the south, surface action group to the southeast, survivors in the water all around us, and the Farragut right in the middle, trying to do everything at once and succeeding at nothing. Captain, Strike Package Alpha is engaging Surface Action Group Alpha. Missiles away. On the display, new symbols appear. Blue arrows streaking from the FA-18s toward the red symbols representing the Chinese ships. 48 long-range anti-ship missiles, covering the distance at high subsonic speed, skimming the wavetops, homing in on their targets. Time to impact? 4 minutes. 4 minutes until we find out if we can hurt them. The radio crackles with chatter from the strike package. Pilot voices, clipped and professional, calling out targets, confirming weapons release, breaking off to avoid defensive fire. Vampire, Vampire, Vampire. Chinese ships are launching SAMs. Massive launch. Recommend all aircraft egress the area. The Chinese aren't just sitting there. They're defending themselves. I watched the display as red symbols blossomed from the Surface Action Group. Dozens of them. HHQ-9. Surface-to-air missiles, probably. Chinese equivalent of the SM-2. They're building a wall of steel between our LRSAMs and their ships. Estimate 40-plus SAMs in the air. Our missiles are going evasive. The LRSAM is a smart weapon. It can detect threats, alter course, even coordinate with other missiles to saturate defenses. But there's a limit. Throw enough SAMs at it, and probability catches up. Impact in 30 seconds. The bridge is silent. Everyone staring at the display, watching blue symbols and red symbols converge, watching math and physics and luck determine the outcome. Impact now. The symbols merge, flash, disappear. New symbols appear. Orange ones, representing damaged or destroyed units. Assess hits on 3 Type 055 cruisers and 2 Type 052 destroyers. Significant damage to all 3 cruisers. 1 Type 052 appears dead in the water. 2nd Type 052 slowing. Remaining ships maintaining course and speed. 3 cruisers hit, but not sunk. Damaged, maybe mission killed, but still afloat. And the rest of the formation is still coming. Chinese surface group is launching. Multiple missile launches. Count as Captain, I'm seeing over 200 inbound missiles. Assess as YG-18 anti-ship cruise missiles timed to impact on task force 12 minutes. 200 missiles. Coming at us. Coming at the Lincoln. Coming at every ship in the task force. This is it. This is the moment where we either survive or die. I pick up the handset. Old units, Farragut actual. Massive inbound missile strike. Weapons free, engage with all available systems. This is not a drill. Defend yourselves. The task force erupts. Every ship launches everything they have. SM-2s, SM-6s, ESSMs. The sky fills with defensive missiles racing out to meet the incoming threat. The Lincoln's fighters break off rescue support and go weapons-free, trying to shoot down cruise missiles with air-to-air missiles. It's chaos. Beautiful, terrible chaos. Recommend we cease rescue operations and go to full defensive posture. I look at the debris field, at the life rafts, at the survivors still in the water. Rescue operations continue. We defend the ship and we save our people, both. No compromises. Jen Knott. Aye, Captain. The missiles coming. 200 of them. In 12 minutes, we'll know if we're good enough, lucky enough, blessed enough to survive. I grip the railing and watch the sky. Somewhere out there, death is approaching at Mach 2. 12 minutes. That's all the time we have before 200 Chinese cruise missiles turn the Pacific into a graveyard. The tactical display looks like someone spilled red paint across it. Each symbol represents a YJ-18, sea skimming at Mach 2.5, carrying a 660-pound warhead designed to crack open ship hulls like tin cans. Our defensive missiles are already launching. I can hear them through the hull, the distinctive whoosh-bang of SM-2s punching out of the vertical launch cells. The Farragut shudders with each launch.
15 missiles away in the first salvo, then another 15. We're throwing everything we have at the incoming swarm. Captain, Aegis is tracking 187 distinct targets. System is prioritizing threats by time to impact and kill probability, engaging automatically. The Aegis combat system, the brain of every modern American destroyer, is running the show now. It's calculating intercept points, assigning missiles, managing the entire defensive battle faster than any human could. All I can do is watch and hope the engineers who designed it knew what they were doing. Time to first impacts, 10 minutes, 40 seconds. I look out the viewport. The rescue helos are still working the debris field, still pulling survivors from the water. 3 of them hover over clusters of life rafts, winch cables going up and down, men and women being lifted to safety, one agonizing person at a time. They know the missiles are coming. They're staying anyway. Rescue 7, Farragut actual. You need to clear the area. We've got inbound missiles, danger close to your position. The pilot's voice comes back steady. Negative, Farragut. We've got 20 people in the water right below us. We're not leaving them. 20 people. 20 lives. Against his own and his crew's. The math is simple. The choice isn't. Your call, 7. Godspeed. Copy that, Captain. Chen appears at my elbow. Sir, the Lincoln is launching additional fighters. Every bird they can get airborne. They're going to try to intercept the missiles before they reach the task force. How many aircraft? 16 Super Hornets. They're armed with MRAMs and Sidewinders. Not ideal for cruise missile intercept, but it's what we have. Not ideal is an understatement. Air-to-air missiles designed for dogfighting against nimble cruise missiles hugging the wave tops. But when you're out of options, you use what you've got. Captain, Princeton reports defensive missile expenditure at 60%. Shiloh at 55%. We're at 40% and counting. 40% of our defensive missiles gone. And the Chinese strike hasn't even reached us yet. The math is getting worse. Acknowledge. Continue firing. Prioritize leakers that get through the outer defensive zone. Aye, sir. The outer zone. That's Navy speak for the area between 50 and 20 miles out, where our long-range SM-2 missiles are supposed to kill the incoming threats. Anything that gets through becomes a problem for the medium-range missiles. Anything that gets through those becomes a problem for the close-in weapon systems, the Phalanx CIWS, the last ditch, pray to God this works, 20mm Gatling gun that throws up a wall of tungsten between you and oblivion. I've seen Phalanx engage targets in exercises. It sounds like the world's angriest chainsaw. When you hear it in combat, it means something got way too close. First intercepts in 30 seconds. I watch the display, our missiles and theirs, converging. Blue dots racing toward red dots. The range closes. 20 miles, 15, 10.
Splash 1, Splash 2, Splash 3. Chen calls them out as our SM-2s start connecting. Each splash is a Chinese missile tumbling into the ocean instead of hitting a ship. Each splash is a small victory. Splash 4, 5, 6, multiple kills. Aegis is confirming. We've destroyed 18 targets in the first engagement zone. 18 down, 169 to go. Second wave engaging now. More missiles launch, more intercepts. The sky over the Pacific must be a nightmare of smoke trails and explosions. I wish I could see it. I wish I couldn't. Splash counts climbing. 22, 25, 31. We're getting good kills, but not enough. Never enough. Captain, the Lincoln's fighters are engaging. They're reporting multiple kills with AMRAMs, vectoring for gun runs on the leakers. Gun runs. They're going to fly into a swarm of cruise missiles and try to shoot them down with 20mm cannons. It's either incredibly brave or incredibly stupid. Probably both. Time to impact on remaining missiles? 6 minutes, 15 seconds. I do the math.
31 kills so far. Maybe 50 or 60 more if our defensive systems keep performing. That still leaves nearly 100 missiles getting through. 100 missiles against 5 destroyers, 2 cruisers, 1 carrier, and a supply ship. The task force is going to take casualties. The only question is how many. Captain, sonar. Sierra 4 is maneuvering, turning toward us, increasing speed. Assess attack profile. Of course, because 200 cruise missiles weren't enough, now the submarines are joining the party. Range to Sierra 4, 28 miles, sir. Speed 12 knots, depth 300 feet. Weapons free on Sierra 4. Fire ASROC, 2 weapons spread. Aye, sir. Firing ASROC. I feel the launches through the deck. 2 rockets streak away from the Farragut, arcing toward the ocean, miles distant. They'll drop their torpedoes into the water and hunt for Sierra 4. One more threat to manage. One more problem to solve. Captain, splash counts are at 72. We're running low on SM2s. Switching to SM6 and ESSM for remaining intercept. 72 kills. Not bad. Not nearly good enough. Approved. Keep firing. The SM6 is our most advanced defensive missile. Longer range, better seeker, smarter brain. But we only carry so many, maybe 20 per ship. Once they're gone, we're down to the ESSMs, the Evolved Sea Sparrow missiles. Shorter range, smaller warhead. Last line of defense before the guns take over. Time to impact, 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 180 seconds. I can count them if I want. I don't want. Rescue operations update. We've recovered 132 survivors. Estimate 140 still in the water. 132 saved. 468 lost. The numbers are brutal, but every person we pull from the ocean is a small victory against the tide of death washing over us. Keep working. Get them all if you can. Aye, Captain. Dixon calls out from sonar. Sir, our torpedoes have acquired Sierra 4. Both weapons tracking. Time to target 90 seconds. 90 seconds to find out if we kill the submarine before it kills us. Captain, Sierra 4 is launching. Torpedo in the water. Bearing 270, range 26 miles. A torpedo? Of course there's a torpedo. We're fighting off 200 missiles, and now there's a submarine putting fish in the water.
Deploy noisemakers. Time to impact on hostile torpedo. Working it, sir. Torpedo speed approximately 50 knots. Time to impact 5 minutes 20 seconds. 5 minutes? The missiles will hit before the torpedo does. If we survive the missiles, we'll deal with the torpedo. Captain, missile count is down to 94 inbound. Lincoln's fighters are reporting Winchester. They're out of ammunition. Winchester, the code word for out of ammunition. The fighters did their job. They'd knocked down maybe 20, 30 missiles with guns and missiles. Now they're breaking off, heading back to the carrier, leaving us to face what's left. 94 missiles. Still more than enough to devastate the task force. Time to impact. 2 minutes, 10 seconds. First impacts will be on the Shiloh. She's the closest to the incoming strike. The Shiloh. Ticonderoga-class cruiser. Same as the Mobile Bay. 600 crew. Good ship, good people. And in 2 minutes, she's going to get hammered. Alert the Shiloh. Tell them brace for impact.
They acknowledged, Captain. They're going to condition Zebra.
Condition Zebra. Seal the ship. Close every watertight door. Minimize the damage when the missiles hit. Standard procedure, rarely enough. Our fish have contact. Explosion bearing 150, range 26 miles. Assess hit on Sierra 4. Confirmed kill. Sonar is contact is breaking up, sir. Multiple small returns consistent with submarine debris. Assess Sierra 4 is destroyed. One less submarine, one less problem. Still leaves Sierra 5 through Sierra 8 out there somewhere.
And the torpedo from Sierra 4 is still running. Timed impact on hostile torpedo. 4 minutes, 10 seconds. Weapon is tracking. It's acquired us, sir. Noisemakers aren't working. Of course they're not working. Modern torpedoes are smart enough to ignore most decoys. Time to impact on the missiles. 1 minute, 30 seconds. The missiles first, then the torpedo. One crisis at a time. Captain, the Shiloh reports visual contact on inbound missiles, multiple targets, low altitude, high speed. Visual contact, that means they're close. Very close. 1 minute to impact. The radio erupts with traffic, ships calling out targets, confirming intercepts, coordinating defensive fire. It's organized chaos. Every captain fighting their own battle, trying to save their own ship while supporting the rest of the task force. Splash counts climbing. 90, 93, 97. We're getting kills, but they're still coming. 30 seconds to impact on the Shiloh. I watch the tactical display. Red symbols converging on the blue symbol representing the Shiloh. Too many symbols, too many missiles. Shiloh has engaged with phalanx. I can hear it on the radio. That angry chainsaw sound. The sound of desperation. Impact on Shiloh in 10 seconds. The bridge goes silent. Everyone watching the display, watching the symbols merge. Impact now! The display shows it first. The blue symbol for the Shiloh flashing red. Then orange. Then the radio gives us the human cost. Shiloh reports multiple hits. Forward superstructure, midships, aft section. They're reporting fires, flooding, casualties. Main radar is down. Power fluctuating. They're still fighting, sir. Still fighting. Burning, flooded, half her systems offline, but still fighting.
Route damage control assistance to the Shiloh. Get helos over there as soon as the missile threat passes.
If it passes.
Time to impact on remaining ships. Impact's beginning now. Multiple missiles inbound to Princeton, Farragut, and Lincoln. Farragut. That's us. Brace for impact! All hands brace for impact! I grab the railing with both hands. Around me, the crew does the same, holding on to whatever they can, waiting. Missiles inbound, bearing 135, range 8 miles. Count is 12 targets. Phalanx engaging. I hear it now, through the hull. That chainsaw roar. The phalanx mount on our stern, spinning up to 4,500 rounds per minute, throwing a wall of tungsten into the sky. Splash 1, splash 2, multiple kills. Phalanx is tracking. Captain, we've got leakers. 2 missiles, still inbound. 2 missiles, maybe 20 seconds from impact. Evasive maneuvers, hard right rudder. The Farragut heels over. I nearly lose my grip. Equipment slides across consoles. Coffee mugs shatter on the deck. The ship turns, engines screaming, trying to present the smallest possible target. 15 seconds to impact! The phalanx is still firing. I can feel it through the deck, a vibration that rattles my teeth. 10 seconds! 5! I close my eyes. The first missile hits the water 50 feet from our port side. The explosion lifts a column of water that crashes across our deck. The shockwave slams into the hull with enough force to throw me against the railing. Alarms scream. The lights flicker. The second missile hits us. Midships, starboard side. The explosion is a physical thing, a fist that punches through steel and flesh. The deck heaves beneath my feet. I'm thrown backward, crashing into a console. Pain explodes in my shoulder. The world is noise and fire and chaos. The lights go out. Emergency lighting kicks in, bathing everything in red. Smoke pours through the ventilation system. The bridge is a disaster. Consoles sparking. People on the deck. Someone screaming. I pull myself up, check myself. Everything hurts, but nothing's broken. My ears are ringing. Can't hear right, but I'm alive. Report. Damage report. Jenner's at her station. Blood running down her face from a cut on her forehead. Checking now, sir. We've got, fire on the main deck, starboard side. Flooding is reported in 2 compartments. Main power is down, running on emergency generators. Radar is intermittent. We've lost the aft phalanx mount. Lost the phalanx. That means a direct hit right where the missile defense system was. Anyone stationed there is gone. Casualties. Unknown, sir. Damage control teams are responding.
I move to the tactical display. It's flickering, but functional. The picture it shows is grim. The Shiloh is burning dead in the water. The Princeton took at least 3 hits in his listing. 2 of our destroyers are damaged. The Lincoln took a missile at her flight deck and has fires raging. The Chinese missile strike worked. Not perfectly, but good enough. The task force is crippled. Captain, we're being hailed. It's the Lincoln. I take the handset. This is Farragut Actual. This is Admiral Reeves, the task force commander. What's your status? We're hurt, sir, but still fighting. Main power is down. We got fires and flooding. Casualties unknown. But we're combat effective. Good, because this isn't over. My radar shows the Chinese Surface Action Group is still closing. Range 30 miles. They'll be in gun range in 20 minutes. Gun range. That means close-in fighting. That means desperation. Understood, sir. What are your orders? Form up what's left to the screening force. Put yourself between them and the Lincoln. We need time to get our fires under control and recover our aircraft. You buy us that time. Aye, aye, sir. The line goes dead. I look at Chen. You heard the Admiral. Get me a course to intercept the Chinese surface group. Alert Princeton and what's left of our destroyers. We're forming a defensive line. Sir, we're damaged. We're running on emergency power. We've got maybe 20 missiles left in the magazines. Going up against that surface group is suicide. She's right. It is suicide. But that's the job. I know. Do it anyway. She nods. Aye, Captain. I move to the viewport. The ocean is full of smoke now. Fires burning on multiple ships. The Shiloh is listing heavily, her superstructure a twisted mess. The Lincoln has a column of black smoke rising from her flight deck. And 30 miles away, 12 Chinese warships are closing in for the kill. I think about Emma again. Wonder if she's watching the news. Wonder if she knows her father is about to die off the coast of California, trying to stop an invasion that might already be inevitable. The Farragut begins to turn, damaged but defiant, moving to meet the enemy. Around us, 2 other destroyers form up, the Wayne E. Meyer and the Michael Mansour, both damaged, both still fighting. 3 destroyers against 12 enemy ships. The math doesn't work, but we're going anyway. Captain, we're getting a message from the Chinese fleet. They're broadcasting in the clear. Put it on speaker. Static. Then a voice, accented but clear. American vessels. This is the People's Liberation Army Navy Surface Action Group. You are ordered to stand down and withdraw from this area. Your fleet is destroyed. Further resistance is futile. If you withdraw now, we will allow you to recover your survivors and retreat. This is your only warning. The bridge is silent. Everyone waiting for my response. I pick up the handset, switch to the task force frequency. Make sure everyone can hear. This is Captain Cole Harris, USS Farragut. To the Chinese commander, go to hell. We're not going anywhere. I drop the handset. Look at my crew. Set course to intercept. Ahead flank. Load harpoon missiles. Target the lead ships. We're going to hurt them before they kill us. The Farragut surges forward. Damaged. Burning. Half her systems offline, but still fighting. Still moving toward the enemy. The tactical display shows it clearly. 3 blue symbols moving east. 12 red symbols moving west. The distance closes. 25 miles. 20. 15. Chinese fleet is increasing speed. They're coming right at us. Of course they are. They smell blood. Weapons free. Fire harpoons on my mark. Target the Type 055 cruisers. I want those big bastards burning. Chen works her console. Firing solution locked. 8 harpoons ready to launch. 8 missiles against targets with hundreds of defensive missiles and multiple gun systems. Against targets that are bigger, faster, and undamaged. But we're going to try anyway. Fire! The Farragut shudders as 8 harpoon anti-ship missiles blast from their canisters. They streak away, accelerating, dropping to wave-top height, racing toward the Chinese fleet at high subsonic speed. Time to target 4 minutes.
4 minutes to see if we can land a punch before they crush us. Captain, the Chinese are launching. Multiple missile launches. Count is over 60 missiles inbound. Time to impact 8 minutes. 60 missiles against 3 destroyers that are already damaged, already low on defensive ammunition. The math is simple. We're not going to make it. All units, weapons free. Engage with everything you have. Make every shot count. The 3 destroyers open fire. SM-6s, SM-2s, what's left of our ESSMs. We're throwing everything at the incoming swarm. It won't be enough, but we're doing it anyway. Our harpoons are approaching target. Chinese defenses are engaging. They're launching SAMs. I watch the display. Our 8 missiles against their defensive screen. The symbols converge, flash, disappear. Assess 3 hits on one Type 505, 2 hits and a second Type 505. Remaining missiles splashed by defensive fire. 3 hits, 2 hits. Maybe we damaged them. Maybe we killed them. Doesn't matter now. Time to impact on inbound missiles. 6 minutes. 6 minutes left to live. I look around the bridge at Chen, still at her post, despite the blood on her face. At Ramirez, still working weapon systems with steady hands. At Dixon, still calling out contacts, even though we can't stop them all. Good people, the best people. And in 6 minutes, most of them will be dead. Captain, I'm picking up new contacts. Surface contacts. Bearing 030, range 40 miles. Multiple ships. Fast movers. Designate a Surface Action Group Bravo. More ships. More Chinese reinforcements. As if the 60 missiles weren't enough. Classification. Working it, sir. Based on radar signature. Captain, these aren't Chinese. They're ours. I'm reading. It's the Essex Amphibious Ready Group. Free ships, and they're launching missiles. The Essex RG. 3 amphibious ships that were supposed to be 200 miles to the north. Somehow they're here, and they're fighting. How many missiles? I'm counting 35, maybe 40 harpoons and standards. They're engaging the Chinese surface group. 40 missiles. Not enough to win, but maybe enough to even the odds. Time to impact on Chinese missiles. 4 minutes and 30 seconds. I watch the display. Our defensive missiles are still engaging. Splash counts climbing. 20, 30, 42. We're doing damage, but there are still missiles coming. Captain, the Essex group is hailing us. Put them through. Farragut, this is Captain Morris in Essex. We heard you needed help. Sorry we're late to the party. I nearly laughed. Nearly. Morrison, you beautiful bastard. How'd you get here? Ran the engines until they screamed. We picked up your distress calls and came running. Looks like we got you just in time. Just in time to die with us, maybe. Better than dying alone, Harris. What do you need? Everything you've got. Chinese surface group is at 12 miles in closing. We're low on ammunition, taking casualties, and about to get swarmed by missiles. Copy that. We're engaging now. Give them hell, Harris. You too, Morrison. The line cuts. On the display, I see the Essex group's missiles impacting the Chinese formation. New explosions, new damage. One Type 052 destroyer breaks apart, spilling fire and debris into the ocean. A Type 055 takes multiple hits and slows, smoke pouring from her superstructure. We're hurting them. Finally, we're hurting them. Time to impact on Chinese missiles, 2 minutes. But they're still going to hurt us. All remaining defensive systems, full auto. Engage everything. The Farragut launches her last missiles. The phalanx mount on our bow spins up, tracking targets. Around us, the Meyer and the Mansour do the same. 1 minute to impact. The splash counts climb. 55, 62, 70. We're killing them, but not fast enough. 30 seconds to impact. I brace myself. Not again. Please, not again. Phalanx engaging. Multiple kills. We've got leakers. 3 missiles still inbound. 3 missiles. The phalanx roars. 1 missile disintegrates. 2 left. 10 seconds. The first missile hits the Michael Mansour. The explosion tears through her bow, lifting the front of the ship out of the water before it crashes back down. The second missile hits the Wayne E. Meyer midships. Fire erupts from her deck. Both ships are hurt, but still afloat. The Farragut is untouched. We survived, again. Damage reports from Meyer and Monsieur. Both ships are taking on water, but staying in the fight. Casualty counts unknown. I nod, can't speak, can't process that we're still alive. Captain, the Chinese surface group is breaking off. They're turning away. Assess, they're withdrawing. Withdrawing? They're leaving. We hurt them enough that they're leaving. We won. Somehow, impossibly, we won. I sink into the command chair. Every part of me hurts. My shoulder throbs. My ears are still ringing. But we're alive. Chen appears in front of me. Sir, we need to get you to medical. Later. Status of the task force. The Lincoln has her fires under control. She's recovering aircraft now. The Shiloh is stable but combat ineffective. Same with Princeton. Meyer and Monsieur are damaged but mobile. Rescue operations for Mobile Bay survivors are continuing. Final count is 168 survivors recovered, 432 lost. 432. I'll write those letters. Every single one. And the Chinese? We sank 2 Type 055 cruisers, 3 Type 052 destroyers, and damaged 4 more ships. Their surface group is retreating east at high speed. The submarine contacts have gone quiet. Assess they've withdrawn as well. We bloodied them, cost them a quarter of their surface force, made them think twice about pushing further. But at what cost? 2 cruisers lost, multiple destroyers damaged, over 500 dead, and the war is just beginning. Captain, Pacific Fleet Command is on the line. Admiral Patterson wants a full report. I take the handset. This is Captain Harris.
Harris, Patterson.
What's your status? We're hurt, sir, but we held the line. The Chinese are withdrawing. The California coast is secure for now.
Good work, Captain. Damn good work. Got your people patched up and your ship's combat ready?
This is just the opening round. Just the opening round. God help us. Aye, aye, sir. I drop the handset and stare at the ocean. The sun is fully up now, burning through the smoke and haze. The water is littered with debris, oil slicks, wreckage. This patch of the Pacific will be a graveyard for decades. But we're still here, still fighting. I think about Emma. Maybe I'll get to see her again. Maybe.
The smell hits you first. Burnt metal, scorched paint, the acrid stench of electrical fires that have been extinguished but left their chemical fingerprints behind. And underneath it all, something worse. Something organic. The smell of what happens when high explosives meet human bodies in confined spaces. It's been 4 hours since the Chinese withdrew. 4 hours of damage control, casualty counts, and the grim arithmetic of survival. The Farragut is still afloat, still combat capable in the loosest definition of the term. We've got main power back, though it flickers every few minutes. The fires are out, the flooding is contained, but the ship feels different now, wounded. I'm in the wardroom, staring at a cup of coffee I haven't touched. My shoulder is bandaged where I slammed into the console. The medical officer wanted to give me something for the pain. I told him to save it for people who need it more. We've got 47 wounded scattered across the ship, occupying every flat surface that can hold a stretcher. The mess decks have been converted to a field hospital. The medics are working miracles with limited supplies. 17 dead. That's the final count from the Farragut. 17 sailors who were alive this morning and aren't anymore. Most of them were in the aft section when the missile hit. The phalanx mount took a direct impact. Nobody stationed there survived. Just gone. Vaporized in the explosion or torn apart by shrapnel moving at supersonic speed. I've got their names on a list in front of me. Petty Officer Marcos Rodriguez, Seaman Jennifer Takahashi, Fire Control and Third Class David Chen. I knew them all. Rodriguez was getting married next month. Takahashi just made seaman last week. Chen had a kid, 3 years old, birthday coming up. I'll write the letters. Right now, I need to focus on keeping the rest of my crew alive. Chen enters the wardroom,
Her forehead is stitched and bandaged, 12 stitches above her right eye. She's moving carefully, favoring her left side. Cracked ribs, the medics think, but the X-ray machine is offline, so they can't confirm. Captain, Pacific Fleet Command just sent new orders. I look up. I guess hold position and wait for relief? Not exactly. She slides a tablet across the table. We're being redirected, new tasking. They want us to form up with what's left of the task force and move north. There's a Chinese amphibious group approaching the Oregon coast. 12 transports, 8 escorts, heading for the Columbia River. I stare at the tablet. The tactical overlay shows the Chinese formation, 140 miles north of our current position, steaming east toward the American mainland at 15 knots. An invasion force. They're not just raiding anymore. They're coming ashore. How long until they reach the coast? At current speed, 9 hours, maybe 10 if they slow for mine-sweeping operations. 9 hours. We've got 9 hours to get between them and American soil. 9 hours with a task force that's half destroyed, low on ammunition, and running on fumes. What assets do we have available? Chen pulls up another screen. The Lincoln is combat effective, but she's down to 18 operational aircraft. The Essex group is intact. They can contribute. We've got Farragut, Meyer, and Mansour from the destroyer squadron. Princeton is too damaged to keep up. Shiloh is being towed back to San Diego. Submarines? She's guessed the Illinois is in the area, Virginia-class attack boat. She's shadowing the Chinese formation now, waiting for authorization to engage.
1 submarine, 1 carrier with a depleted air wing, 3 damaged destroyers, the Essex Ark with its 3 amphibious ships, against 12 transports and 8 warships. The math is better than it was 4 hours ago. Still not good. What about land-based aviation? Bombers, strike fighters, air forces committed to defending the homeland. They've got Chinese air attacks hitting targets from Alaska to San Diego. Every available aircraft is flying air defense. They can't spare anything for maritime strike. Of course they can't. The Chinese planned this well. Simultaneous attacks across multiple vectors, stretching our forces thin, forcing us to choose which threats to counter and which to accept. When do we move out? Orders say immediately. Form up the task force and proceed north at best possible speed. I drain the coffee. It's cold. Tastes like oil. Alert the crew. We're getting underway in 30 minutes. Coordinate with the other ships. I want a defensive formation that maximizes our remaining firepower. Aye, sir. She leaves. I sit there for another moment, staring at the names on the list. 17 dead. 432 from the Mobile Bay. How many more before this is over? I fold the list and put it in my pocket. Stand up. My shoulder screams. I ignore it. The bridge is organized chaos when I arrive. Damn, its control teams are still working on the tactical displays, trying to get full functionality back. Half the screens are dark. The ones that work flicker intermittently. But it's a nerve. Dixon is at his station, headphones on, monitoring sonar. Ramirez is running diagnostics on the remaining weapons systems. A new face is at the helm, Petty Officer Jackson. The regular helmsman didn't make it. Captain on the bridge, someone calls out. As you were. I move to the command chair. Helm, what's our engineering status? Jackson checks his displays. Main engines are operational, sir. We can make 28 knots, maybe 30 if we push it. Engineering recommends we keep it under 25 to avoid stressing the damaged hull sections. 25 knots. The Chinese amphibious group is due in 15. We can catch them. Very well. Plot a course to intercept the Chinese formation. Best speed consistent with engineering's recommendations. Course laid in. Execute when ready. The Farragut begins to move. I feel it through the deck. The vibration of the engines building. The ship coming alive again despite our wounds. Around us, the other ships in the task force are doing the same. The Meyer and Mansour are taking up positions on our flanks. The Essex group forming up astern. The Lincoln at the center. Her escorts tight around her. We're not much to look at. A battered task force. Low on ammunition, high on casualties. But we're moving. Still in the fight. Captain, we're receiving tactical updates from the Illinois. She's been tracking the Chinese amphibious group for 6 hours, sending her logs now. I pull up the submarine's reports.
The Illinois has been doing excellent work, maintaining contact with the Chinese formation while staying undetected. Her captain, Commander Sarah Chen, no relation to my XO, has mapped the entire enemy disposition. 12 Type 071 and Type 075 amphibious transports, each carrying between 400 and 800 troops, plus vehicles, helicopters, landing craft. Total estimated embarked force, 7,000 combat troops. The 71st Amphibious Brigade of the People's Liberation Army Marine Corps.
7,000 troops. If they get ashore, they could take and hold a significant piece of coastline, establish a beachhead, bring in reinforcements, turn the Oregon coast into a battleground. The escorts are a mix of Type 052D destroyers and Type 054A frigates, all modern, all heavily armed. The Illinois assesses their defensive posture as tight but predictable. They're expecting submarine attack. They've got their ASW helos up, sonobuoys in the water, active sonar pinging. But they might not be expecting a surface engagement. Not after bloodying us so badly 4 hours ago. They might think we're finished, limping back to port, out of the fight. They're wrong. ETA to intercept. Chen works the calculation. At our current speed and their current speed, we intercept in 6 hours 40 minutes, just after nightfall. Nightfall. That could work for us. Harder for them to spot us visually, easier for us to close the range before they react. Alert the task force. Battle plan as follows. We approach from the south, using the Lincoln's remaining aircraft for standoff strike. Hit the escorts first, degrade their defenses, then we close with surface action and finish them. The Illinois will prosecute any submarines and take shots at the transports if she gets the opportunity. Sir, the transports, if we sink them while they're loaded with troops, she doesn't finish. Doesn't need to. Sinking troop transports means killing thousands of men who might be trapped below decks, unable to escape. It's a war crime in some interpretations of international law. Those troops are heading for American soil with the intent to invade and occupy. If we let them land, American civilians die. American cities burn. We sink the transports. Chet nods slowly. Aye, sir. I don't like it either. But this is war. Real war. Not the antiseptic precision strike conflicts of the past few decades. This is total war where you do whatever it takes to stop the enemy from winning. Get the Air Wing commander on the line. I need to coordinate the strike package. Aye, Captain. The hours pass slowly. The Farragut cuts through the Pacific, heading north, the rest of the task force keeping pace. The sun climbs higher, then starts its descent toward the western horizon. The ocean is gray and restless. Swells building as wind picks up from the northwest. I spent the time reviewing damage reports, checking in with the wounded, making sure the ship is ready for another fight. The weapons officer reports we've got 32 missiles left, mix of harpoons and standards. Not many. We'll have to make each one count. The Lincoln's Air Wing commander, Captain Rodriguez, no relation to the dead petty officer, briefs me on the strike package. 12 FA-18EA birds, all he can spare, each loaded with 2 LRAS-M anti-ship missiles. 24 missiles total against 8 escort ships. It's not a lot, Rodriguez admits over the video link, but if we coordinate with your surface-launched harpoons, we might overwhelm their defenses. What about the transports? If we get through the escorts, my birds can rearm and go back for the transports. But that's a big if, Captain. Make it happen, Rodriguez. Everything depends on taking down those escorts. We'll do our best, sir. The link cuts. I lean back in the command chair and close my eyes, just for a moment, just to rest them. I must have dozed because Chen is shaking me awake. Captain, we're 2 hours from intercept. The Chinese formation has altered course. They're heading more northerly now, toward Astoria.
Astoria, the city of 10,000 people at the mouth of the Columbia River. If the Chinese take Astoria, they control access to the river and everything upstream. Portland, the I-5 corridor, the entire Pacific Northwest could be at risk. Have they detected us? Unknown, sir. They may have picked us up on long-range radar, or they could be reacting to intelligence about defensive preparations at Astoria. Hard to say. I checked the tactical display. The Chinese formation is 120 miles north, still heading east toward the coast. We are closing from the south at 25 knots. The geometry is working in our favor. We'll have the angle for a crossing shot, hitting them on their flank as they approach the shore. Alert the strike package. Launch time is in 90 minutes. Coordinate with surface fires. I want every missile in the air at the same time. Aye, Captain. The sun is setting now, painting the western sky in shades of orange and red. Beautiful, like the fires from this morning. I wonder if I'll ever be able to look at a sunset again without thinking of burning ships and dying sailors. Dixon calls out from sonar. Captain, the Illinois reports she's in position for torpedo attack. She's requesting permission to engage. The submarine. I'd almost forgotten about her. She's been shadowing the Chinese formation all day, waiting for the order to strike. Tell the Illinois to hold position. She fires when the air and the surface strikes go in. I want everything hitting them at once. Maximum confusion, maximum damage. The Illinois acknowledges, sir. I stand and move to the viewport. The ocean's darkening as the sun slips below the horizon. The Farragut's bow cuts through the swells, throwing spray that catches the last light. Behind us, the rest of the task force follows. A line of ships heading into darkness and battle. Somewhere ahead, the Chinese are waiting. Maybe they know we're drumming, or maybe they don't. Either way, in 90 minutes, we're going to hit them with everything we have. Pray it's enough. The strike package launches at 1847 hours. I watch from the bridge as the Lincoln's catapults hurl FA-18s into the twilight sky. One after another, the fighters claw for altitude, running lights blinking, afterburners glowing orange in the gathering darkness. 12 aircraft carrying 24 missiles flown by pilots who've already been in combat twice today. They form up and head north. I can track them on radar. A tight formation moving at 400 knots, hugging the wave tops to stay under the Chinese radar horizon as long as possible. Time to target area, 40 minutes. Chet reports, 40 minutes. Then we'll know if this works. Surface missiles ready? All ships report weapons ready. We're coordinating launch times now. First missiles will fly in 38 minutes, timed to arrive simultaneously with the airstrike. Perfect synchronization, the key to overwhelming their defenses. If we stagger our attacks, they'll defeat them piecemeal. If we hit them all at once, they won't have enough defensive missiles to stop everything. Very well. Execute the firing sequence as planned. The bridge settles into tense silence. Everyone watching displays, monitoring systems, waiting for the moment. I can hear the hum of electronics, the rush of water against the hull, my own breathing. I think about the Chinese sailors on those escorts. They're just like us, doing their jobs, following orders. They've got families waiting for them, dreams of coming home, fears of dying in a war they didn't start. In 38 minutes, we're going to try to kill them all. War doesn't give you the luxury of sympathy. You either win or die. Those are the only options. Strike package is feet wet and proceeding to target. All aircraft report green status. Surface missiles launching in 5 minutes. I watch the countdown timer on the tactical display. 5 minutes. 4. Prepare to fire. 2 minutes. 1. Fire! The Farragut shudders as harpoon missiles blast from their canisters. 4 weapons streaking away into the darkness, dropping to wave-top height, accelerating toward the enemy. Around us, the other ships are firing too. The Meyer launches 4. The Monsieur launches 4. The Essex Group contributes 8. 20 surface-launched missiles, joining the 24 from the airstrike. 44 weapons total, all converging on 8 escort ships. Time to target, 6 minutes. 6 minutes to find out if we've done enough. Captain, the Illinois reports she's firing. 4 torpedoes in the water, targeting the northernmost transport. The submarine joins the attack. 4 torpedoes, Mark 48 ADCATs, the most advanced weapons in our inventory. If they hit, that transport is finished. Acknowledge, all units are now weapons-free. The radio comes alive with chatter. Pilots calling out targets, confirming weapons release. Ship captains reporting firing solutions. The Illinois sonar officer tracking torpedo runs. It's coordinated chaos. Everyone fighting their own battle. All of it coming together into one massive strike. Strike package is going active. They're lighting up the Chinese escorts with targeting radar. That's the trigger. The moment the Chinese realize they're under attack, their defensive systems will spin up. SAMs will launch. Guns will start tracking. They've got maybe 90 seconds before the first missiles arrive. Chinese fleet is launching SAMs, heavy defensive fire. Count is over 100 missiles in the air. 100 defensive missiles against our 44 attackers. To math is in their favor. But our missiles are smart, coordinated, designed to saturate defenses. Time to impact, 90 seconds. I grip the railing, watch the display. Our missiles and theirs, converging, blue symbols and red symbols racing toward collision. First defensive intercepts, they're splashing our missiles. Count is 12 kills, 32 still inbound. 12 down, 32 left. Still enough to do damage. 60 seconds to impact. More defensive fire. More kills. The count drops. 30, 28, 23. But some are getting through. Some are weaving through the defensive fire, jinking and dodging, closing on their targets. 10 seconds. 5. The symbols merge, flash, disappear. Assess multiple hits. Type 052D destroyer is hit, assessing 3 impacts. Second Type 05 TTD hit twice. Type 054A frigate is hit once. We're getting damage assessments now. Chen studies the incoming data. First, Type 052DD is dead in the water, massive fires. Second Type 052D is slowing, appears combat ineffective. Type 054A is... She's breaking apart, sir. She's going down. 1 frigate sinking. 2 destroyers, mission killed. Out of 8 escorts, we've taken down 3 in the first strike. What about the others?
Still combat effective. They're reforming, closing ranks around the transports. And Captain, they're launching multiple missile launches from the remaining escorts. Inbound to task force. Count is 40 plus missiles. 40 missiles coming at us. We just spent most of our defensive ammunition 4 hours ago. We're low on everything. Time to impact. 8 minutes, sir. 8 minutes to prepare for another missile swarm. We barely survived the last one. All ships, weapons free, engaged defensive. Chen, get our remaining standards ready. We're going to need every missile we have. Aye, Captain. The task force opens fire. Standards launch from every ship, climbing into the night sky, racing toward the incoming threats. But we don't have many. Maybe 40 defensive missiles total across the entire task force. 1-to-1 ratio at best. Captain, Illinois reports hits on the transport. All 4 torpedoes connected. Target is sinking. She's reloading for another attack. 1 transport down. 11 to go. Acknowledged. Tell her to keep hitting them. The defensive battle develops quickly. Our missiles against theirs, high above the darkening Pacific. I can't see it from the bridge, but I can track it on radar. Each intercept, each kill, each missile that gets through. Splash counts climbing. We're at 22 kills, still 20 inbound. Not enough. We're not killing them fast enough. Time to impact. 4 minutes. I look at the tactical display. 20 missiles, all targeting the Lincoln. They're going for the carrier. Kill the carrier, kill our air power. Smart. Lincoln, Farragut actual. Missiles are targeted on you. Recommend evasive maneuvers. Copy, Farragut. We're maneuvering now. The massive carrier begins to turn, trying to present a smaller target. But carriers aren't agile. They're big, slow targets. Exactly what anti-ship missiles are designed to kill.
3 minutes to impact. Splash count at 30. 12 still inbound. We're killing them, but not fast enough. Captain, we're Winchester on standards. No more defensive missiles. Switching to guns. Guns. The phalanx system. Our last defense. The Lincoln has 3 phalanx mounts. If they all work perfectly, if the targeting is flawless, if luck is on our side, they might stop 12 missiles. Might. 2 minutes. The bridge is silent except for Chen calling out the countdown. Everyone knows what's coming. Everyone knows the Lincoln might not survive this. 1 minute. Phalanx systems on the Lincoln are tracking. They're engaging. That chainsaw sound transmitted over the radio. The sound of desperation. 3 guns, each firing 4,500 rounds per minute, throwing up a wall of tungsten between the carrier and oblivion. 30 seconds. Phalanx has splashed 4 missiles, 8 still inbound. Not enough. 10 seconds. I close my eyes. Can't watch. Can't bear to see the Lincoln die. The explosions, when they come, are audible even from 20 miles away. A series of rolling booms transmitted through the water and air, reaching us like distant thunder. I open my eyes. Look at the display. The Lincoln symbol is still there. Flashing red, but still there.
Report from the Lincoln. They took 5 hits. Flight deck is destroyed. Island is damaged. They've got major fires and flooding. Casualties are heavy, but they're still afloat. Still afloat. Burning, crippled, but still afloat. Can they recover aircraft? Negative, sir. Flight deck is gone. The strike package will have to divert to land bases. The strike package. 12 FA-18s with nowhere to land. They'll have to fly to the nearest airfield, McCord or Portland, if those are still operational. If they have enough fuel. What's our status? We're undamaged. Meyer and Mansour are also untouched. Essex Group reports minor damage from near misses. We're combat effective. Combat effective. That's something. Captain, the strike package is reporting. They're Winchester on anti-ship missiles, requesting instructions. Rodriguez's voice comes over the radio. Farragut, this is Strike Lead. We're out of LRASMs. We're also low on fuel. We need to divert to land bases. Request clearance. I key the mic. Strike Lead, Farragut actual. You're cleared to divert. McCord Air Force Base if it's operational. Portland if not. Good hunting, Rodriguez. Copy, Farragut. Good luck down there. The strike package turns south, heading for the coast. I watch them go. 12 aircraft limping home, hoping they've done enough. Captain, update on the Chinese formation. We sunk 3 escorts and 1 transport, but the rest are still heading for the coast. ETA to Astoria, 2 hours. 2 hours? We're out of missiles. The Lincoln is crippled. The strike package is gone. All we have left are guns and torpedoes. And 1 submarine. Get me the Illinois. Jen patches me through. Commander Sarah Chen's voice comes through clear. This is Illinois. Go ahead, Farragut. Commander, how many torpedoes do you have left? We've got 4 Mark 48s loaded, another 16 in storage, but it'll take time to reload. 4 torpedoes. 4 shots at 11 transports. Here's what I need. You keep hitting those transports. 1 torpedo per ship. Don't stop until they're all on the bottom or you're out of weapons. Copy that, Captain. What about the escorts? Let us worry about the escorts. You focus on the transports. Every ship you sink is 1,000 troops that don't make it to shore. Understood. Illinois is engaging now. The submarine goes to work. I track her progress on sonar, watch as she maneuvers into firing position, launches torpedoes, and then sprints away to reload. Professional, deadly, efficient. Captain, decision time. The Chinese formation is 60 miles ahead. We can intercept in 90 minutes, but we're out of missiles. It'll have to be a gun action. A gun action.
close-range combat with our 5-inch main guns against their escort ships. The kind of fighting the Navy hasn't done since World War II. Plot intercept course. We're going in. Chen stares at me. Sir, with respect, this is suicide. 5-inch guns against modern warships with anti-ship missiles. They'll tear us apart before we get in range. But if we don't stop them, 7,000 Chinese troops land on American soil. I can live with suicide. I can't live with that. She nods slowly. Aye, sir. The Farragut turns north and accelerates. Behind us, the Meyer and Monsieur follow. The Essex group holds back, protecting the crippled Lincoln. 3 destroyers against 5 escort ships. Guns against missiles. We're going to die, but we're going to make it count.
The ocean is black ink. No stars tonight. The cloud cover moved in an hour ago, thick and low, turning the Pacific into a void. Perfect conditions for what we're about to do. Or perfect conditions to die in. Hard to say which. The Farragut is running dark. No navigation lights, no deck lights, just the faint glow from the bridge windows we've covered with blackout curtains. We're a ghost ship, racing through the darkness at 30 knots, closing the distance to the Chinese formation. 40 miles now, maybe 90 minutes until we're in gun range. I'm on the bridge, studying the tactical display. The Chinese escorts have reformed around the transports, tightening their defensive perimeter after our missile strike. 5 warships left. 3 Type 052Ds and 2 Type 054As. All modern, all deadly, all carrying anti-ship missiles that outrange our guns by a factor of 10. The plan is simple, because complicated plans fall apart the moment bullets start flying. We close the gun range using darkness and weather for cover. We engage the escorts at point-blank range, hopefully before they can get missiles off. We sink or disable enough of them that the Illinois can finish the transports unmolested. Simple. Suicidal. The only option we have. Captain, update from the Illinois. Chen hands me a message slip. She's sunk 2 more transports. That makes 3 total, 8 remaining. But she's down to her last torpedo in the tubes. She's reloading now, but it'll take 20 minutes. 3 transports down. Maybe 3,000 troops sent to the bottom. It should make me feel something. Satisfaction, maybe? Or horror at the scale of killing. I feel nothing. Just numb. Just focused on the next objective. Acknowledged. Tell her to keep hitting them. Dixon calls out from sonar. Captain, I'm getting surface contacts. Bearing 015, range 38 miles. Multiple contacts. That's the Chinese formation. 38 miles. Closer than I thought. We must be making better speed than estimated. Classification. Working it, sir. I'm reading 5 escort-sized contacts in a circular formation. Larger returns in the center, assessed as the transports. Formation is maintaining course toward Astoria. Speed 12 knots. 12 knots. They're not in a hurry. Maybe they think we've won. Maybe they think we're finished after the Lincoln got hit. Any indication they've detected us? Negative, sir. Their radar emissions are consistent with standard search patterns. No fire control radars active. No apparent increase in defensive posture. They haven't seen us yet. That's something. Maintain course and speed. Alert Meyer and Monsieur. We're going to close to 15 miles before we light them up. I want to be inside their missile minimum range before they know we're here. 15 miles. That's danger close for modern naval combat. That's knife fighting range. But it's the only way this works. Chen leans in close, voice low. Sir, even at 15 miles, they can still engage with missiles. The YJ-18 has a minimum range of about 8 miles. We'll be well inside their envelope. I know. But we'll also be close enough that their targeting solutions will be rushed. Close enough that our guns are effective. Close enough to make this a brawl instead of an execution. it's still suicide. I know that too. She doesn't argue further, just nods and returns to her station. I stare at the tactical display, watching the range tick down. 35 miles, 32, 28. The bridge is quiet. Everyone focused on their tasks. Dixon monitoring sonar, tracking every sound in the ocean. Ramirez at weapons, ready to unleash our 5-inch guns the moment we unmask. Jackson at the helm, steady hands, ready to throw us into evasive maneuvers when the shooting starts. 25 miles. Captain, radar is picking up increased activity from the Chinese formation. They're activating additional search radars. They may be getting suspicious. Of course they are. Their escorts just got hammered by a missile strike. Their transports are getting sunk by a submarine. They'd be fools not to be looking for follow-up attacks. Hold course, maintain emissions control. We stay dark until we're at 15 miles. Aye, sir. 17 miles. 16. The tension on the bridge is physical. I can feel it in the air, thick as the humidity. Everyone knows what's coming. Everyone knows the odds. Nobody's backing down. 15 miles. Light 'em up. Active radar, fire control systems, everything. Target the nearest escort with main guns. Fire when ready. The Farragut's radar suite comes alive, bathing the Chinese formation in electromagnetic energy. Our fire control systems lock on to the nearest Type 052D, designated, feed targeting data to the main gun. The 5-inch gun mount on our bow rotates, elevates, locks on target. Solution locked, firing. The gun roars. I feel it through the deck, a deep boom that rattles everything loose in the bridge. The shell arcs through the darkness, 15 miles downrange, traveling at 2,500 feet per second. Splash, hit, we're on target. The gun fires again, and again. Ramirez has it on automatic, pumping out rounds as fast as the autoloader can cycle. 16 rounds per minute, each one a 70-pound projectile designed to punch through steel and detonate inside.
Captain, the Chinese are reacting. Multiple fire control radars going active. They're targeting us. Missile launches detected. Count is 6 missiles inbound from the northernmost Typo 5D2. Time to impact 4 minutes. 6 missiles. We've got no defensive missiles left. Just the forward phalanx mount and evasive maneuvers. Helm, evasive pattern Baker 3. Flank speed, deployed chaff. The Farragut heels hard as Jackson throws the rudder over. The ship accelerates, engines screaming, wake boiling white behind us. Chaff rockets launched from the deck, bursting in midair, creating clouds of metal strips designed to confuse radar-guided missiles. All guns continue firing. Hit that destroyer! Our 5-inch gun keeps hammering, shell after shell downrange. I can see the impacts now through the bridge windows, orange flashes on the horizon where our rounds are hitting the Chinese destroyer. Target is returning fire. They've got us with their main gun. Chinese shells start falling around us. Geysers of water erupt 50 yards to port, and then starboard. They're bracketing us, walking their fire towards our position. Maintain course and speed, keep firing. Captain, the missiles are at 2 miles, phalanx engaging. That chainsaw roar. The forward mount spins up, tracking the incoming threats. Tracers arc into the darkness, streams of tungsten reaching for the missiles. Splash 1, splash 2. The phalanx kills 2 missiles, 4 left. Closing fast. 30 seconds to impact. I grip the railing. Can't do anything but wait, pray. Missiles are 1 just hit the water. Musket malfunctioned. 3 remaining. 3 missiles. 20 seconds. Phalanx has another kill. 2 remaining. The gun keeps firing, throwing everything it has at the incoming weapons, but the missiles are fast, weaving, hard targets. 10 seconds. 1 missile hits the water 50 feet from our port bow. The explosion throws up a massive column of water that crashes across the forward deck. The ship shot us but keeps moving. The second missile hits us. Starboard side, just after the bridge. The explosion is catastrophic. The deck heaves beneath my feet.
I'm thrown against the command chair, pain exploding in my already injured shoulder. The lights flicker and die. Emergency lighting kicks in, bathing everything in red. Alarms scream. Damage reports flood in over the comm. Fire on the main deck! Hull breach! Starboard side! We're taking on water! I pull myself up, check myself. Blood running down my arm from a cut I didn't know I had. Everything else seems to work. Damage control teams respond. Seal tip breach. Chen status. She's at her station, blood on her face again, this time from the cut across her cheek. Checking now, sir. We've got main power is fluctuating, fire in 2 compartments, flooding is contained for now. Radar is down, we're blind. Blind. No radar. No way to target. No way to see what's coming. Switch to optical targeting. Use the Mark 1 eyeball. Keep firing. The gun crew doesn't need radar. They can see the Chinese destroyer burning on the horizon. They adjust aim and keep shooting.
Captain, Meyer is engaging. She's firing on the second Type 052D. Mansour is engaging the Type 054A to our east. The other destroyers are in the fight now. I can see their muzzle flashes, bright strobes in the darkness. The ocean between us and the Chinese is turning into a shooting gallery. Captain, we've lost fire control to the main gun, switching to local control. Local control. That means the gun crew is operating manually, without computer assistance. Slower, less accurate, but still deadly if they're good. They're good. The gun keeps firing, keeps hitting. Target is slowing. Assess heavy damage to the Type 052D. She's launching missiles. Multiple launches. More missiles coming at us. No radar to track them. No way to know how many or from where. Phalanx to automatic. All guns engage. The forward phalanx mount starts firing blind, searching for targets. Our 5-inch gun keeps hammering the destroyer. It's chaos. Pure chaos. Impacts on the target. She's burning, sir. Dead in the water. Secondary explosions. I think we killed her. 1 escort down. 4 to go. Shift fire to the next target. Keep shooting. But we're hurt. Bad. Another Chinese shell slams in we're stern, exploding near the aft superstructure. More alarms. More damage reports. We've lost propulsion. Engineering reports the shaft is damaged. We're slowing. Slowing. Dead in the water. Same as the Chinese destroyer we just killed. A sitting target. Get me auxiliary power to the engines. Anything. I need maneuvering capability. Working it, sir. Dixon calls out. Captain, torpedo in the water. Chinese submarine bearing 270, range 8 miles. Torpedo inbound. A submarine. Of course there's a submarine. We're dead in the water, and there's a submarine putting a fish in us. Deploy noisemakers. Do we have any ASW capability left? Negative, sir. We're Winchester on Ease Rock. No torpedoes remaining. No air shoot back. Nowhere to run. Just wait for impact. Time to impact. 4 minutes at current torpedo speed. 4 minutes. Maybe our last 4 minutes. Captain Meyer is engaging the submarine. She's firing on A's Rock. The Mansour, coming to our rescue, trying to kill the submarine before it kills us. Meyer reports she's sunk the second Type 052D. That leaves 3 escorts, but Meyer has taken damage. She's on fire, slowing down. 3 escorts left. 2 of our 2 destroyers hurt or dying. The math is getting worse. Time to impact on the torpedo. 3 minutes, 10 seconds. Status on the Mansour's Hayes Rock. Fish in the water, tracking the submarine. Time to target 90 seconds. 90 seconds to kill the submarine. 3 minutes until its torpedo hits us. We need the monster's torpedo to hit. We need it to hit now. Watch the tactical display, or what's left of it. Half the screens are dark. The ones that work show a confused picture. Burning ships. Torpedoes in the water. Chaos. Captain, we've got main gun back online. Local control only, but we're in the fight. Target the nearest escort. Fire at will. The gun rotates, aims,
fires. The crew was working on pure instinct now. No computers, no fire control, just eyes and training and the will to keep fighting. Torpedo time to impact 2 minutes. I look out the viewport. Can't see the torpedo, can't see much of anything except burning ships and muzzle flashes. Captain, Mansour's torpedo has contact. Explosion bearing 268, range 7 miles. Assess hit on the Chinese submarine. Confirm kill. Sonar is contact breaking up, sir. Assess submarine destroyed. The submarine is dead, but its torpedo is still running. Time to impact 1 minute 30 seconds. We killed the Archer, but the arrow is still flying. Torpedo tracking. It's turning. The weapon is turning away from us. It's lost contact. Going into search mode. Lost contact. Maybe when the submarine died, the torpedo's guidance cut out. Maybe the explosion disrupted its seeker. Maybe we just got lucky. Keep tracking that weapon. Let me know if it reacquires. Aye, sir. I let out the breath I didn't know I was holding. Another close call. Another few seconds of borrowed time. Captain, update from the battle group. Meyer has sunk the Titan 54A frigate. That leaves 2 escorts, one Titan 52D and one 54A. Both are damaged and attempting to withdraw. Withdrawing. They're running. Don't let them get away. Pursue and engage. I want those escorts on the bottom. Sir, we're dead in the water. We can't pursue. Right. We're crippled. Can't maneuver, can barely fight. Tell Mansour to pursue. She's our only effective unit. Take down those escorts. Aye, Captain. I watched the Mansour on the tactical display, or what I can see of it. She's moving away from us, chasing the fleeing Chinese ships. Her guns firing, hitting, killing. Mansour reports kill on the Titan 54A. 1 escort remaining. 1 left. 1 Type 752D damaged, running for its life. Captain, the Illinois is reporting. She sunk 4 more transports. That makes 7 total. 4 remain, but she's Winchester. No torpedoes left. She's heading deep to reload. 7 transports sunk. Maybe 6,000 troops dead. The numbers are staggering, the human cost incomprehensible. But 4 transports are still afloat, still heading for the coast. How long until the Illinois can re-engage? She estimates 45 minutes to reload and get back into position. 45 minutes? The transports will be at the coast in 90 minutes. We don't have 45 minutes to wait. What's the status of those transports? Chen checks the displays. They're 15 miles from Escoria. No escorts left except the one fleeing Titan 52D. They're vulnerable. But sir, we've got no weapons that can reach them from here. No weapons. No missiles. We're out of everything except main gun ammunition, and that's only effective to 12 miles. What about Mansour? She's pursuing the last escort, 20 miles from the transports. 20 miles. Too far for guns.
I stare at the tactical display. 4 transports, 15 miles from the coast, carrying maybe 4,000 Chinese Marines. If they land, if they establish a beachhead, this whole nightmare starts over. Get me the Illinois. Chen patches me through. Commander Sarah Chen's voice is tense. This is Illinois. Go ahead. Commander, 4 transports are about to reach the coast. You're our only asset that can stop them. I need you to get torpedoes in the water now. Captain, I'm deep and reloading. It's going to take time. We don't have time. How long until you've got at least 1 fish ready? Pause. 10 minutes. Maybe 12. Make it 8. Harris out. I drop the handset. Look at Chen. Get me Admiral Patterson at Fleet Command. She makes the connection. The Admiral's voice comes through scratchy but clear. Harris, report. Sir, we've engaged the Chinese amphibious force. We've sunk 7 transports and 5 escorts. But 4 transports are still inbound to Astoria. ETA 15 minutes. We don't have assets to stop them in time. What about land-based defenses? Unknown, sir. We've had no contact with Astoria garrison. They may have been hit in earlier strikes.
A long pause. Harris, I'm looking at the tactical picture. You've done incredible work, but those transports land will deal with it. You've hurt them badly. That's enough. Enough. 4,000 enemy troops landing on American soil, and it's enough. Sir, with respect, it's not enough. Not while we're still breathing. Captain, your ship is crippled. The mire is burning. You've got no missiles, nor torpedoes, nothing that can reach those transports. What exactly do you propose? I look at the tactical display. Look at the Farragut's position. Look at the transports 15 miles north heading for the coast. An idea forms. Insane. Desperate. Probably suicidal. But we're out of good options. Sir, I'm proposing we ram them. Silence on the line. Then, say again. We get main propulsion back online. We point the Farragut at those transports, and we ram them. At flank speed, 10,000 tons of destroyer will sink anything it hits. Harris, that's insane. Yes, sir, but it'll work. Another pause. Longer this time. Captain, I can't order you to do this. You're not ordering, sir. I'm volunteering. If you do this, you'll likely lose the ship and most of your crew. I know, sir. And you're willing to accept that. I look around the bridge. At Chen, blood on her face, but still at her post. At Dixon, headphones on, still tracking contacts. At Ramirez, still working weapons. At Jackson, hands on the helm, ready. Yes, sir. We're willing. A long exhale on the other end. Then Godspeed, Captain. Make it count. Aye, sir. The line goes dead.
I turn to the bridge crew. You heard that. We're going to ram those transports. Anyone who wants off, now's the time. I'll hold no grudges. But we're doing this with or without you. Nobody moves. Nobody speaks. They just stare at me. Then Chen breaks the silence. How are we going to ram anything when we're dead in the water? Get engineering on the line. Tell them I need main propulsion in 5 minutes. I don't care how they do it. Duct tape and prayer if necessary. But get me engines. She picks up the handset. Engineering, bridge. Captain needs main propulsion in 5 minutes. The reply is inaudible to me, but I see Chen's face. They say it's impossible. The shaft is damaged. Trying to run the engines will tear the ship apart. Tell them to do it anyway. We only need it for 10 minutes, just long enough to reach the transports. She relays the message. Listened. Engineering says aye, sir. They'll give you what they can, but they can't guarantee how long it'll hold. That's all I need. I move to the tactical display. Plot a course. The transports are 15 miles north. At flank speed, if we can make it, that's less than 20 minutes. Helm, plot intercept course on the nearest transport. Best speed once engineering gives us engines. Jackson plots the course with shaking hands. Course laid in, sir, ready to execute. I pick up the 1MC handset. Shipwide announcement. Time to tell the crew what we're doing. All hands, this is the captain. In about 5 minutes, we're gonna get main propulsion back online. When we do, we're going to point this ship at the Chinese transports and ram them at flank speed. This will likely result in the loss of the Farragut. I'm ordering all non-essential personnel to abandon ship. Get to the life rafts, get clear. Essential personnel will remain at stations to see this through. I pause, look out the viewport at the burning ocean. We came here to stop an invasion. 4 Chinese transports are about to land on American soil. We're the only thing standing between them and the coast. So we're going to stand. We're going to hit them, and we're going to send them to the bottom. Another pause. It's been an honor serving with you. Harris, out. I drop the handset. The bridge is silent. Then Chen speaks. I'm staying. Chen, you don't have to. With respect, sir, shut up. I'm staying. Ramirez not. Me too, Captain. Dixon takes off his headphones, turns around. I'm in. Jackson at the helm. Someone's got to drive this thing. One by one, they all volunteer. All of them. Every single person on the bridge. I feel something crack inside my chest. Pride. Fear.
love for these people who are willing to die because I ask them to. Thank you, all of you. The comm crackles. Ridge, engineering, we've got you main propulsion, both chefs turning, but Captain, I'm begging you, don't push it. This whole system is held together with hope and welding wire.
Understood, engineering. We'll be gentle. That gets a bitter laugh from somewhere in the background. Helm, ahead flank. Execute intercept course. Jackson pushes the throttles forward. The Farragut shudders. A horrible grinding noise comes from deep in the ship. But we're moving, accelerating, building speed. Making 20 knots, 25, 30. The ship is screaming. I can feel it through the deck. Metal groaning, systems straining. The whole vessel protesting what we're asking it to do. But we're moving. Range to target, 12 miles. I can see them now. 4 massive transports lit up against the dark coast. They look like floating cities, each one carrying 1,000 troops, vehicles, supplies, each one a threat to American soil. Maintain course and speed. Captain, I'm getting reports from below. The hull is flexing. Seams are opening. We're taking on water in multiple compartments. Seal what you can. Ignore the rest. We just need 10 more minutes. 10 minutes. Then we hit. Then we sink. Then it's over. Range to target, 9 miles. I think about Emma one last time. Hope she'll understand. Hope she'll know her father died trying to protect her. Died trying to stop the war from reaching her doorstep. Captain, the transports are reacting. They see us. They're trying to maneuver. Too late. They're massive ships, slow to turn. We're a destroyer at flank speed, knifing through the water, closing fast. Range to target, 6 miles. The grinding noise from below is getting worse. The ship is coming apart, but we're still moving, still closing. 4 miles. I can see details now. The transport's superstructures, their deck lights, tiny figures running on deck, probably trying to figure out what the hell we're doing. 2 miles. Chen appears at my side. It's been an honor, sir. The honor's been mine, Chen. 1 mile, 30 seconds to impact. The transports are massive in front of us. Huge gray walls of steel. We're going to hit the first one amidships. 10,000 tons of destroyer at 30 knots. The physics are simple. Both ships are going to die. 20 seconds. I grip the railing. This is it. This is how it ends. Not in a blaze of glory, not with medals and parades, just a ship full of sailors ramming the enemy because it's the only option left. 10 seconds. I close my eyes, see Emma's face, see her smile, hear her laugh. I love you, sweetheart. I'm sorry. 5 seconds. The impact is beyond anything I imagined. The Farragut's bow crumbles like tinfoil. The transport's hull tears open, spilling contents into the ocean. The shockwave travels through both ships, shattering steel, collapsing bulkheads, killing anything in its path. I'm thrown across the bridge. My head hits something hard. Pain, darkness, the sound of the ocean rushing in. The last thing I hear is the ship screaming as she dies.
I woke up 3 days later in a Navy hospital in San Diego. The doctors told me I was lucky. Fractured skull, broken collarbone, 4 cracked ribs, internal bleeding, but alive. Pulled from the water by a search and rescue helo 30 minutes after the Farragut went down. They said I was unconscious, floating in a life jacket I don't remember putting on. Someone must have strapped it to me in those final seconds. I'll never know who. 63 members of my crew survived, out of 400. Chen made it. So did Dixon and Jackson. Ramirez didn't. Neither did 336 others.
Their names are burned into my memory now. A list I recite every night before sleep comes, if it comes. The Farragut sank in 4 minutes. She took the Chinese transport with her. Both ships on the bottom now, off the coast of Oregon, in water so deep they'll never be recovered. 2 steel coffins, holding the dead from both sides. American sailors and Chinese Marines, sleeping together in the dark. The Illinois finished the job. Commander Chen got her torpedoes loaded and sank the remaining 3 transports before they could reach shore. 4,000 enemy troops went down with their ships. The invasion of Oregon coast died in the Black Pacific, 40 miles from Astoria. We won, if you can call it that. The war didn't end that night. It's still going, still grinding forward across the Pacific, across Asia, across the globe. China and Russia are pressed in hard. We're pushing back harder. The body count climbs every day. Cities burn. Ships sink. Aircraft fall from the sky. And the letters keep coming. Thousands of them. Telling families that their sons and daughters aren't coming home. I wrote 400 letters. One for each of my crew who died. It took me 3 weeks. The words didn't get easier. Each one was a fresh knife to the chest. Dear Mr. Rodriguez, your son died serving his country. Dear Mrs. Takahashi, your daughter gave her life defending American soil. Dear Mr. Chen, your boy was a hero. Empty words, hollow comfort. But it's all I had to give. They gave me a medal, the Navy Cross, presented it to me in a wheelchair because I couldn't stand yet. The citation talked about valor, sacrifice, and devotion to duty. It talked about ramming the enemy transport, about stopping the invasion, about saving American lives through extraordinary heroism. It didn't talk about the 337 sailors who died following my orders. It didn't talk about the 4,000 Chinese troops who drowned in the holds of sinked transports. They had families too. They had daughters who asked when Daddy was coming home. They were just following orders, same as us. Did we win? Or did we all just lose together? I don't know anymore.
The war goes on. Every day brings new battles, new losses, new names to add to the endless lists. The Lincoln was repaired and returned to action. The Essex group is still out there, still fighting. The Myron Mansour made it back to port, got patched up, went back to sea. The Princeton and Shiloh were too damaged. They're in dry dock, maybe salvageable, maybe not. The Mobile Bay is still on the bottom, so is the Farragut. 2 ships, over 900 sailors, sleeping in the deep. We'll build new ships, train new crews, send them out to die in the same waters. And the war will grind on. I'm being medically retired. The head injury was severe enough that they won't clear me for sea duty again. Part of me is relieved. Part of me feels like a deserter, abandoning the fight while others carry on. But mostly, I'm just tired. Bone deep, soul-crushing tired in a way that sleep doesn't fix. I'm going back to Portland, going to live with Emma and her mother until I figure out what comes next. Maybe I'll teach, maybe I'll write, maybe I'll just sit on the porch and try to forget the sound of my ship dying beneath me. But I won't forget the crew. I can't. They trusted me, followed me, died because I asked them to. That's a weight I'll carry until my own name gets added to someone else's list. Someone asked me yesterday if I had any regrets, if I'd do anything differently. I thought about it, really thought about it. And the answer is no. We were sailors. We had a job. Protect the homeland, stop the invasion, hold the line. We did that. The cost was catastrophic. The price was paid in blood and lives and futures cut short. But we did the job. Would I have chosen a different path if I could go back? Tried some other tactic? Made different calls that might have saved more people? Maybe. Probably. I replay every decision 1,000 times, wondering what if. But in the end, we held the line. We stopped them.
4,000 enemy troops didn't reach American soil because we were willing to die to stop them. 337 of my sailors made that sacrifice. They bought security for their families, their cities, their country, with their lives. That has to mean something. It has to. Otherwise, what's any of this for? The sun is setting over San Diego Harbor. I can see it from my hospital window, orange and red, painting the sky in colors that still remind me of burning ships. Maybe someday I'll see a sunset and think of beauty instead of death. Maybe Emma's coming to visit tomorrow. She's taking the train down from Portland. I'm gonna tell her I love her. Tell her I'm sorry for all that time we lost. Tell her I'm coming home and I'm never leaving again. I'm gonna try to be the father she deserves. I'm going to try to live a life worthy of the people who died in my place. I'm going to try to remember that winning and surviving aren't always the same thing. My name is Captain Cole Harris, United States Navy, retired. I fought in World War III off the coast of California in November 2043. I lost my ship. I lost my crew, but we held the line. And maybe, in the end, that's enough.